Hello and welcome to this episode of Halcyon Blink. My name's Lauren Rise. I'm going to be your host of this episode, and on this episode, let me save you 2 hours of your time. Go watch Mars Attacks. It's exactly the same fucking premise, and it's more entertaining. And you probably got it on DVD already, so you don't have to spend any money on it. And it has Jack Black getting evaporated, and Jack Nicholson getting impaled, and Pierce Brosnan being decapitated. This film has none of that. In fairness to the film, it is extremely well acted, and its premise certainly is intriguing to a certain degree. It follows a family after a sort of, not post-apocalyptic, I think that would be too strong, but aliens have basically landed on Earth. They're impervious to most physical damage, and they hunt entirely on sound. So they hunt and they destroy anything that makes any sound. It picks up a few months after the incidents, with most people having already died, and then following a family of 5 originally, one of whom is deaf, hence why they all know sign language, which is why they've all learnt to communicate quite easily off the bat and move silently. In terms of how it thinks about things, in terms of how the film puts down dampeners on sound and how intelligent they are, it's great. I loved that. I thought that was really impressive. Where the film fell down with me is the title of the film, A Quiet Place. My issue with the title of this film is very simple. It shouldn't have been called A Quiet Place. It should have been called Father Protects Family as They All F*** Up.
Oh my God!
Because the rest of the film is a succession of these plot points where the dad is just desperately trying to keep his family safe and alive, and all they do is balls up every 5 minutes. The daughter, for one, I get that the part of the relationship is that they feel fractious because the dad holds the daughter responsible because the daughter gave the toy to the son, who's then killed. Spoiler alert.
A few moments later.
I get that. I understand that. But it's been a year and a half, and I'm pretty certain in this post-apocalyptic world, if he really didn't like her that much, and it was that easy for one of their children to be killed by one of these monsters and make it look like an accident, he'd have done that by now. So he clearly still has a soft spot for her. So why do they have to argue like that? I don't understand why. It's tension for the sake of tension, and oh, you bastard trying to fix my hearing, how could you? He keeps making hearing aids for her to try and cure her hearing. And she's almost like, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. You're a dick for trying. It's a dad. Of course he's going to try. What kind of stupid ass plot point is that? And why would a daughter feel that way? Nonsensical. Second one, the boy. The boy being afraid of everything. Oh, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to. He's taking you fishing, bitch. Well, you don't want to eat. You want to go and come on now. Be man. Pick yourself up. The only salient one out of the lot is the mum. But even then, like, the nail scene just drove me mental because you saw it coming a mile off. The baby as well. I mean, I get that you're gonna have sex occasionally, and contraception's probably gonna be hard to come by.
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
But do you really think it's a good idea bringing in a baby into the world that's gonna scream 24 hours a day with the aliens about? No, of course it isn't. Stupid idea. No one should do it. But again, the main thing of the film is that they hunt by sound, and yet at the end of the film it turns out it's sound, specifically radio waves, that kills these things. It stuns them and all the rest of it. No one figured that out. No one figured that out while there was 1 million people in America, not just like 10. No one happened to have a radio. No one happened to be playing loud. If noise is what hunts them, then how were they so efficient in the first place? Because people make a lot of noise by nature. So there's a lot of things wrong with the execution of this film, especially towards the middle to end part when you start employing a bit of logic to things. Especially when you think, okay, so they hunt by sound. Why wouldn't I just attach a stereo to a fishing rod over a waterfall and watch them dive over one by one to their deaths? Or at least lead them away. At least lead them to another part of the country. Or trap them. Trap them in something. I don't know, but when you know that they're attracted to sound that much, use that to your advantage instead of hiding from it every 5 minutes.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
I'm not going to hate, I'm going to dump completely on the film. The soundtrack is impressive considering how limited it is. The acting for what it is very, very impressive. You do feel the tension, and it's shot well. I'm not scraping the bottom of the barrel here, but it is shot very well in terms of how it's trying to highlight the feelings and emotions of the characters. But in terms of an overall idea and execution, I think it's getting plaudits where it doesn't deserve it, because it's stupid when you break it down. So I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10, because the acting, like I said, is superb. The soundtrack and sound design, the cinematography is very, very good. But just the level of disbelief that you have to suspend is almost laughable when you actually put your mind to it. And especially, like I said at the beginning of the show, you already have Mars attacks for this. So I would advise you go watch that instead. You save yourself some money, save yourself some time. So this has been an episode of Halcyon Blink. I've been your host, Lauren Risley. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out some of the other content creators in the description below. Also follow me on Twitter. And as always, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Halcyon Blink.